Hey, welcome back. This month I want to get in touch with one of my very own friends and a client, Dylan Josephson. I want to introduce you guys to him. But also, I just want to kind of talk about how your off-season training is going. We talked about that last month. So have you gotten started? Have you done an assessment? Have you gotten into your mobility, your flexibility work? Have you been doing some cardio? What's happening with your nutrition? Think about those things. We talked about that last month. But this month, I brought Dylan Josephson in. He's a senior on the Vernon Hills High School golf team. To kind of give you guys a perspective of what happens when I don't see somebody every week, meaning maybe I'll see them for an assessment, and then they'll take the information back home and either work out at home or their own gym, whether it's a Lifetime Fitness or Export, something like that. So I brought Dylan in. I want to kind of walk through a little bit of a case study, if you will. He's got some great insight into how the training that we did together, or that actually he did on his own at home, with his own discipline and persistence, paid off for him. And so, again, Dylan's a senior at Vernon Hills High School, and so we'll talk about this. But welcome first and foremost, my man.
Thank you.
Always good to see you, that's for sure. Dylan's got an unbelievably fun attitude and a positive attitude that is contagious. So we met, I think, late 2019, early 2020, through a mutual friend who's a swing coach here in the area. He had been seeing your progress in your lessons and had an idea of like, look, if we could get you a little bit stronger and get you a little bit more yardage off the tee, we think it would help your game, right? So Dylan came in, we did his assessment, we looked into your mobility, your flexibility, we looked into your core strength and kind of like how you're putting movement patterns together that was going to be benefiting you in your lessons. So after the lesson, we took that information and Dylan was going to be doing his workouts at home. Fill us in. How did that go? How many days a week were you doing your workouts? And did you stay consistent with it?
So it was probably about 3-4 days a week I was doing the workouts, and like Greg said, he introduced me to everything. We did the assessments, broke everything down, and he gave me workouts to do 3 or 4 days a week. I had 2 different rotations of workouts that I'd be doing every week, and I stayed very consistent with it. Had a lot of discipline, made sure I set my schedule every week, and I just kept rolling with the schedule there.
Yeah, so the big thing that worked for Dylan and I was he was doing the workouts at home. So from my end, I just offered him accountability, whether it was a single text message or a phone call to check in and just answer any questions he might have. So that actually worked really well for us, just because with the schedule that he had in school and things, and pandemic being online a lot for class, I just wanted to offer some accountability and encouragement. And so one of the things I would like to ask, and he did not get any of these questions beforehand, so this is kind of on the fly here, but the workouts that you did with the consistency you had, the discipline you had, heading into your spring and summer of 2020, how did you see it pay off?
So I felt my swing. It felt a lot more mobile. I felt like I got a lot more turn very easily, and I felt like everything could go really smooth in transition, and I had more power, first of all. I had a lot of power, and my rotation, mobility, flexibility was all there. It was a lot smoother, better, and my swing just felt really well, really good.
Yeah, so one of the things that his swing coach was looking for was for more rotation, for body rotation to square up the club face, and for him to stay in posture a little bit better, meaning he had a tendency to kind of come out of it a little bit, and he was losing some speed and missing the center of the face every now and then. So when he's talking about rotation and mobility and flexibility, one of the things he saw was he was able to stay in posture better, use rotation to square up the club face, and then he picked up some yardage. And so the other thing that worked out really well was with his instructor being a friend of mine, and now a mutual friend of ours, was I was able to check in with his instructor and say, hey, is he picking up club head speed? Is he picking up ball speed? What are you noticing? So we got some really good feedback there too. So, all right, so you've got really good gains or progress that you're seeing in the gym. You're starting to see your numbers pop up in your lessons. You're picking up some club head speed. You're getting some carry distance. How did it pay off for you in the 2020 and 2021 summer schedule with IJGA tournaments, MAJGT tournaments, and Hurricane Tour events?
So the spring started out a little slow, but once I got into the schedule, the workouts and stuff, everything kind of started to come together in the beginning of the summer, and I started to see those yardages go up. I was taking one less club with the same yardage, and my scores just started to fall, and I did really well in the summer. I won a couple tournaments. tournaments. I had a lot of top 3 finishes, and I came home with a lot of medal.
That's fun. Oh yeah. And so, as you guys know, I mean, golf is 90% here, 10% physical. So the other thing that worked out really well was, if I'm not mistaken, your swing instructor was taking you on course and starting to really walk you through course strategy, tournament prep, those kind of things. And I think the biggest thing was like just getting you to trust, like these are your new numbers, dude. This is how far you hit your 8 iron now. That kind of stuff. Am I wrong or am I right?
You're right.
Yeah, so that was huge. One of the things that you've heard me stress in my newsletter before is like it does take a team. So I was able to be on the fitness side and really help him out there as you're hearing, but then he had a swing coach, but then that also swing coach was going one step further and noticing like, look, this kid's serious, he's got a work ethic. I think I could help him out if I help him understand what it's like to prep for a tournament and have a little bit more strategy and kind of ease his mindset a little bit and just let him focus on the proper things. And so you had a great summer, but then, we didn't know how the fall golf season was going to go. So again, Vernon Hills High School, your success carried right into your fall golf season. So fill us in on that.
Yeah, so our team actually did really well during the season. We won 3 tournaments, 3 or 4. We also won regionals, started that streak back up. We have 10 regional titles in the past 11 years. Team's really coming together. Our chemistry is just there, and our team did really well. I also did very well. I think I won 4 or 5 tournaments.
Yeah.
And the scores were very consistent. I had a scoring average, I think around 74.
Yeah.
And everything just came together again in the fall.
Yeah. Yeah. So something he's not going to tell you, which is another thing I like about Dylan, is he also made it to state. And so, as a kid that's worked his tail off for 14, 15 months, you want to see that hard work pay off. And so, not only did his team have great success, but he had some individual success as well. And so, fill us in. Where'd you guys play state, and how many kids were there, and where did you finish?
So we played at the Illinois State University course. It was Wyburn Golf Club in Normal.
Yeah.
And there were about 120 kids. 2-day event. There was also a cut, and I shot 77 the first day, 73 the second day, and I placed 21st, which I was pretty proud of.
Yeah.
Good little recovery after the first day.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's good stuff. So, so I wanted to bring Dylan in, just kind of give you guys an idea that, look, even the individuals that I don't see regularly here at Body of Motion, as long as there's solid communication in place, and there's accountability taking place, there's opportunities for you to take control of those variables, which is your mindset, your sleep habits, your training on your own, your nutrition, all of those things that you can control. You can't control the weather. You can't control a match play situation potentially. You can't control, there's a lot of things you can't control. But the things that you can, as we're seeing with Dylan here, can pay off big dividends. And so, last thing I have for you, I guess, is, you had great success in those summer tournaments, team did an awesome job. What kind of chances or potential are you going to have to go to maybe play golf after high school here?
So yeah, I'm a very fresh golfer. I got good really late, but I'm going to try to walk on to college and keep talking to all the college coaches, showing my improvement. I'm going to keep grinding over the winter, over the off season, and play in a bunch of tournaments next year and see what happens. Yeah.
I think the big thing is, for some of you parents that are already dealing with it, like the recruiting process with golf is tricky because, and you're probably seeing it if your kid plays a club sport. Sometimes the club sport or the summer schedule, meaning the non-high school golf schedule, can be even more important than the high school golf season. And so with late success, sometimes you have to navigate that process a little bit differently. So I think you've done a phenomenal job with it. I'm super proud of Dylan and just the work ethics that he showed. And then again, just to keep a positive attitude through the ups and downs of golf. As you heard him say, day 1 he shot 77 on state. And we all have the shoulda, coulda, woulda. If I wouldn't have 3-putted, we all have the shoulda, coulda, woulda. But for him to stay in it mentally and then to bounce back and shoot 73 the next day is really solid. So it's something I'm super proud of you for. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, tuning in every month. If you guys get a chance, follow him on social media. You need to post more, by the way. You're super fun.
I know I do.
I'm totally calling him out. He needs to post more. So anyway, see, he's laughing. He knows. But if you get a chance, follow him on social media. Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N, Dylan Josephson. Really fun kid. So thanks for coming in. I'm going to pay this kid in Chick-fil-A gift cards. So anyway, you guys have a good week. I would love to get you in to Body in Motion for an assessment if we haven't met. And then, as usual, we can train in person. We can do remote coaching just like this star has. Or we can do some things virtually as well. So you guys have a great off season. If you have any questions, let me know.